All right, everybody, Antique Motorcycle Revival. We haven't got a lot of videos out lately because we have had type A flu and sickness and all kinds of stuff that's just stair-step through the whole family. And but we're alive and well again, so we're gonna try to put a video or two out here. I've been getting a day or two in the garage. I had a lot of work and a lot of hours in December and January. And so I'm trying to get a little bit of time off of that, get a little time to work on the motorcycles. Today I've been going over the Panhead a little bit. I've got quite a few things, some parts that I've been saving up for it and working on it. I got a friend, Mark Blankenship. He helps me so much on these Panheads with he's just a wealth of knowledge. He knows all about that stuff and sells parts and stuff. And so if you're interested in anything like that and with Mark, let me know and I'll get you his number. Also, the one of the problems that I've had is on the 1957, they had a compensator on them right here. Okay, this is your front sprocket. They had this compensator set up, and they have springs in them. And they hadn't been doing this a very long time. I mean, in my opinion, probably not long enough to know what they were doing. And but they get weak anyway over time. You'd have to replace them. And for years, they didn't run these at all. They just run a sprocket. So my fix to the compensator, what it was doing, when you would idle down, it just sounded like the rod, clank, 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 just making a loud noise. And it was this, the springs in it just popping like that. So took that baby out today and changed it out for a regular sprocket. That cures the compensator problem. And I've also got solid lifters in it. I'm not a fan of the hydraulic lifters. They have a tendency, they can bleed down a little bit on these Panheads. And then that's why I think a lot of times you see people having to really crank them a lot, because they got to build up their compression on the motor that way. So anyway, getting this thing back to the basic samples, and I'm tuning it right now. I just tried to get it running before. Now I've got the carburetor off. I'm cleaning it over there in the hydrosonic cleaner, and I'm working on that, and I'm gonna put plug wires. I'm gonna check the timing really good, go over the points, everything with get it dialed in on the adjustments. But I did change out the compensator, put the sprocket on, and another problem that I was running into, if you've ever wondered about this, I'm going to be able to help you. My buddy Mark kind of helped me with this one. But when I first put the clutches together, I noticed that I had a ton of threads sticking out at the very end here. And normally you shouldn't. I mean, you may have a thread or two at the end of it on your clutch. And I had way too much room. I had tried my best to figure it out. I measured these to make sure everything was the same. I went through everything I could think of. And I'll show you what turned out to be the problem. And this is important to know if you've got a mouse trap and you're going to adjust the mouse trap and you're going to try to get everything right. If everything is not right on these to begin with, then nothing is going to be. You need to get this right. It needs to be done exactly the spec. And then you can go through the whole sequence that we've talked about before with setting the mouse trap. But you look at the clutches. So what I did, I got some original style clutches from a friend of mine the other day from Morris, and look at the difference in the thickness between aftermarket, just the cheaper version they've got out today. These have rivets holding them together and they have it on both sides. These are just a solid, and look at the thickness difference in them. And something else that I did, I took a wire brush and I cleaned them. Then I took a drill bit, because when you put these in, one of the things you're going to want to do is check these and make sure that they're not grooved out. because if they're grooved, they're not going to let the clutch release the right way. And then the other thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to make sure that they're sliding well as far as on this. Now these were not. I had 3 of them. What I did was I cleaned them really good the first time. They were still kind of a little bit tight. I got a drill bit the exact size of this, and I just went over them. And you could feel them just kind of, I guess, rounding the holes better or something, but barely bigger, just barely cleaned them out with a drill bit. And I want you to look at the difference in this. You can see it how it slides in and out now. Not a lot of slack or nothing in it, but it slides in and out. So you once you put them in and you've got the thicker parts, like the thicker of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to go with your metal disc, and they have an out stamp on them. I don't worry too much about the ball bearings. I think the chatter thing, it doesn't matter. They got little bearings on the end of them right there, but whatever. And then the last one, and then metal plate. Put another one in. And you can see here, watch how easy. See, what that does, that allows it to release. And if they don't, what happens if they get sticky and they don't release, then these 4-speed transmissions, they're going to clunk and they're not going to go into gear well. This one wasn't. And that was the reason. And so I got them all cleaned up really good. Find the out, again, out. And then you're going to want to rotate these to where that they are not like this part on the next one is over on this side. So these are not stacked on top of each other. Put the out on it. Another double thickness again, using the thick ones. And I want to show you in a second what a difference this made in this clutch setup. See, I mean, it's smooth now. It's going to be way different. And then out. Let's see, down here, right there, like so. And then your last one is a half plate, they call it, which is, and I cleaned all of these too, but it's something you want to do. But it's the half plate that goes on there, like so. And then, you know, if you take a washer and you put on these before you take them off, and I'm sure you all have seen these videos before, but just you can compress it, take the nuts off, and then you can just slide this whole thing off. And you don't have to go through the springs and all that again, you know, over and over. These only go one way, just like that. I got it the first time. It was amazing. And see the difference? Look at the thread, the amount of threads that's coming through there. And so it's you know, pretty awesome setup. And here's the nuts. I'll show you something that I did. I don't know if you know, but maybe too tight sometimes. But anyway, these have a little notch in them, and if you buy them, the original nuts for that, they have a notch here, and so when you go on there, they'll begin to click. Feel it. You can feel it. Now that locks them in, and doesn't let them move. Well, rather than paying $30 or whatever for them, I actually cut them in with a grinder and made my own, so it works just the same. I had a brand new set of them for the racer, but I didn't have any for this, so I just made them. And but anyway, that's how that works. And you can see the big difference in the way they were before. That's how they're supposed to look. Just barely sticking through. Get these things up, you know, to where that you can release the nut here in a second. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have 1 inch between the inside lip and this, 1 inch on all three. to where that it runs in an even sort of pattern. And then once you get this set at 1 inch on all 3 of them, you can begin to back all of this off, go through the whole sequence of adjusting the mouse trap, which I will have to do again now that I've went through this clutch and I got rid of the compensator and all that. I'll adjust the mouse trap again. Pacific Mike, I think, he just goes over it really well. So I'm not going to do another video when he's got one out there already to help with that. So just go to Pacific Mike if you want to know how to adjust these mouse traps. But I will add that it's important to get this right. You need the right springs, you need the right clutches, you need the right distance, 1 inch, all of that, because the tension of this, when it's pressed in, all of that is engineered with this spring and everything to be set the right way. And if you get it all right when you do it, you can barely, I mean, it's 2 fingers, them mouse traps, and the assist. And so, say hi to Molly. Molly over here is my wife's oversized dog. We originally thought this was going to be a medium size. She is 4.5 months old, and I don't think she's going to be medium, folks. So that's just that. But anyway, got a dog and a couple of dogs, and for the same reason that I've got chickens and everything else, I've got a wife. That's that. I got motorcycles and she's got pets. That's how we roll. So, but anyway, that's how you set that up. It's going to be a whole lot much better, and I'll give an example of it whenever we get ready to ride. But it'll actually release now, and that's going to be a lot better on the transmission. I'm going to go through the whole tune-up process, and then we'll give it we'll fire it up and go from there. But as soon as I get the carburetors done and get it all finished, we'll start it up. So until then, I want to ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody that's doing that. 57 Panhead. We're going to get this thing out and ride it a little bit as soon as the weather breaks, and just have a good time. Hopefully we'll see you then.